What do you kind of see from looking at the estate agents, looking at the brokers? If someone's either starting out or a small team, haven't quite niched yet, if you were going to lay out some steps that somebody could say, right, obviously get your vision right, choose your ideal client, what would be kind of your business tips?
Some of the things that made a massive difference to our company, and I talk to some of our clients about it. Certainly, if I do any one-to-one work with somebody, I'll talk to them about four main things. Really, I mean, there's so much stuff that you could go into.
Yeah.
But the four main things that made a massive difference to our company were having actual goals for the business.
Yeah.
So, where is the business actually supposed to be in 3 years' time?
Yeah.
If you sit down and figure it out, you can actually work backwards from there.
Yeah.
And rather than just sort of thinking, I don't know how I'm going to do it, but I'd like to be earning 50 grand a month. Who knows how? And so that means I've got a target now.
Yeah.
That's not good enough. How will you build a business where you're going to earn 50 grand a month?
Yeah.
There has to be quantifiable.
Yeah.
What's going to happen? You might actually find, it can't be done.
Yeah.
In which case, maybe you're wasting your time, or maybe you need to change your ideas slightly. But either way, fast forward 3 years and go, where do we actually want to be in 3 years' time? And then quantify it. How is it going to happen? It doesn't have to be with your existing team, because obviously over 3 years you might grow. But what would need to be in place in 3 years for you to be where you want it to be?
Yeah. And
then from that, you can go backwards and go, so what should our 1 year goal be?
Yeah.
You know, it doesn't have to be a third of what the 3 is, because you're gonna scale up.
Yeah.
But what's a realistic goal for the next 1 year that puts us on a path to that 3 year goal?
Yeah.
And from there, what you do is you break that down into quarterly meetings, which we call ROCS meetings. So the idea of a ROCS meeting is that if you've got a glass and you put sand in it first and then stones, there's no room for the rocks at the top, which are the important things.
Yeah.
If you put the rocks in first and then the stones, the sand just filters through and you fit it all in the glass. So you do the day-to-day stuff anyway. So once you've got clear 1 year goals, you have a ROCS meeting every quarter where you take a day out of the office and the whole team, the leadership team, sit down and they go, right, what can anyone see that's going to stop us hitting this 1 year goal?
Yeah.
And you make this big long list of stuff. And then you go through that list and you find some of the things are the same and you combine them. Some of them are just to-dos and you can kind of kill them. And then you've got some that are the rocks, which you keep.
Yeah.
You end up with maybe 5 rocks.
Yeah.
You distribute the ownership of them around the team. Doesn't mean that team members got to do the whole thing. They're just responsible for getting it done over the next quarter. They can use all the resources that they need to get it done. And each quarter you come back and you find that you achieved these rocks.
Yeah.
And guess what? You actually hit your 1 year goal.
Yeah.
It just happens.
Yeah.
And it's like, whoa, this is going to happen.
Yeah.
That 3 year thing that I dreamt of, oh my God, we're like a year towards it. And so that's a big thing, I think. Without the goals, someone once sort of explained it to me as is in like, if you had to get from this side to the other side of London without a map, it'd be almost impossible.
Yeah. Kind
of complicated.
Yeah.
You might just go around in circles. But fortunately, the tube map has already sorted it out for us.
Yeah.
You just walk up the road, go to Liverpool Street, you get a train straight across.
Yeah.
So if you've got the map, it's actually pretty easy.
Yeah.
So I think that's a big thing that made a huge difference for us. I think the buyer personas made a massive difference. The stuff we spoke about before, like who do you actually serve?
Yeah.
Get out the files of clients that you loved working with, they loved working with you, and they paid you a great fee.
Yeah.
Line them all up, and you're going to see some amazing similarities between these people.
Yeah.
And then you can start saying, wow, actually, that's who we serve.
Yeah.
And that's why they used us, and that's why they were happy.
Yeah.
From that, you can create customer journeys. So customer journeys was another massive thing for us. So we sat down and we planned out what will someone experience when they interact with our company from the moment of discovery through discovery calls, through signing up, through upgrading, through forever lasting love and everything in between.
Yeah.
Which sounds a bit overwhelming, but you only need to start with the first bit. What happens when someone signs up with you?
Yeah.
What will they experience in the first week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks? So that there will never be a point where they're just a bit... And if there is, what happens when you've got customer journeys is if a complaint comes in, instead of it being a situation where you shout at somebody, you can just say, that's weird. let's get the customer journey out and see how that happened.
Yeah.
And you fix the problem forever.
Yeah.
So customer journeys, and the final one is core values. Core values, loads of companies have what they call values, and they write them out and they put them up on the wall.
Yeah.
But I think very few companies actually understand how you really use core values to just make your company awesome.
Yeah.
So we were taught about core values, and we were taught that they should really be what makes up you as the founder of the business.
Yeah.
Because you can just live them.
Yeah.
They can't be things that are aspirational.
Yeah.
Like I'm terrible with timekeeping, so it'd be pointless me putting in there anything about that. Even if I wished that I wasn't, you're not. So there must be real life things, and there's no point in them just being noise. Again, like something like trustworthy. There's no point.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't need to be a core value. We're not expecting people to rob us. You create these core values that really get to the grips of what makes up you as a person.
Yeah.
And then from that, you hire, fire, and promote your staff based on those things. And what ends up happening is, one, it self-polices the team. So people that don't fit those core values, they end up just saying, this isn't really for me, I'm going to go and work somewhere else.
Yeah.
The people that stay and the people that you employ on that basis, they're all really into that stuff, and they all sort of self-police each other, and just some amazing stuff starts getting churned out of that business.
Yeah.
So I think those are the four things. As much as you would think, starting a business, like you need to generate sales, you need to do this, you need to get leads going, you need to do all of that stuff. But that's just hustle, right?
Yeah.
That's just hustle. I mean, you just do it. You just find a way of getting the business. These things, I think, if I was starting a new business tomorrow, I would have to have those four things in place before I employed a member of staff or anything.
Love it.
Yeah.
Absolutely awesome. And I think to touch on that as well, because one of the things I picked up from what you just said in there is the fact of your team are highly motivated to helping you build out your vision. And what do you think makes them buy into? Because you know what it's like, as an owner of a company, initially when you start out, you always feel like nobody's as committed as me, no one's going to put the hours in, no one's going to care about the customers as much as I do, because it's my baby, my business, etc. How do you get your team to buy into that whole future, that they come in as almost as passionate as you are every single day? Because that's what it sounds like to me. I think that culture sounds awesome.
Yeah, I think you have to look at it from their point of view.
Yeah.
I want all my staff to be committed.
Yeah.
It's one of our core values.
Yeah.
And what does that actually mean? Well, what it means is that if I say to somebody, what happened with so-and-so, I don't want them to say to me, I'm not sure, I passed it over to Tom.
Yeah.
Like, I don't care about Tom. I'm asking you what happened with it.
Yeah.
So I want that level of commitment, and I want the commitment to know that, like, I'm not expecting you to be here till 10 o'clock every night.
Yeah.
But should the circumstances arise whereby what's happening requires you to be here till 10 o'clock, be here till 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
Now, the flip side of that is like, well, why would I do that? So we have to look at ourselves and go, well, why would you do that?
Yeah.
So we look at, how do you create an environment from our perspective where we're committed to you, we're committed to trying to make this the best place that you could possibly work, regardless of salary. Like, you don't want to work anywhere else. So we give our staff unlimited holiday days.
Yeah.
They can take as many holiday days as they please. There's no limit to any of that. We have food delivered to their desks, free drink. There's a PlayStation in the office. There's a football table in the office. But it's not so that we can create an environment like Facebook where we're just all sitting around stoned doing nothing. Because one of the core values is commitment.
Yeah.
It's get the done.
Yeah.
So yes, you can play the PlayStation. I don't care, because I know that you didn't get to play the PlayStation last night because you were working till 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
But if someone came in every day, just did 9:30 to 5:30, they left and they spent an hour playing the PlayStation, it's going to break the core values. They'll be gone within a week.
Yeah.
So it's a two-way street.
Yeah.
Literally, if one of my team want to get up from their desk and go and play the PlayStation, I don't care.
Yeah.
Because I know they're all so committed.
Yeah.
They're sending me messages at 8 o'clock at night going, I've just been thinking about this and I've just been thinking about that. They don't want to work anywhere else.
Yeah.
So I think it's a two-way street.
Yeah.
And I think when you're hiring people, you have to be quite ruthless with those core values. We put some things in our kind of interview process that are really probably a bit unfair.
Yeah.
But they're based around the core values, and people either pass those tests or don't. So if we did our first interview and I liked you, and then second interview, I might make it quite difficult for you to get to.
Yeah.
I might even make it short notice or in an awkward location or a weekend or something. Now, you're either going to come because you want to be involved in this thing and you don't care, you'll rearrange whatever else it has you've done, or you'll say, maybe quite reasonably, I've got something on that day.
Yeah.
At which point, I'll probably go like, this ain't going nowhere.
Yeah.
You know, and we probably lose some great people because of that.
Yeah.
But what we end up with, the ones that we hire, are just all off the charts with our core values.
Yeah.
They are 100% into it.
Yeah.
So I think it's flipped from the idea that we used to interview people and try and sell the business to them, to the idea that now we try and talk people out of it and say, look, I've got to talk to you about these core values, because if it's not your thing, really, you're wasting your time. You'll be gone in like 2 weeks. Yeah.
I can see how that absolutely transforms a business as well.
Yeah.
And actually, you get people, if someone buys into the values, it's that whole like plus like, isn't it? Your best friends are your best friends, because generally you've got some values in common, and they stick around and you do things for each other. And if they rang you up late at night and said, my car's broken down and I'm stuck on the M25, the wife's at home with the kids, I know I'll jump in the car for my best mate and go and pick him up.
Absolutely.
And
I think from a staff point of view, it gives you some clarity on what's expected of you as well.
Yeah.
Obviously, you're supposed to do the job that you're employed to do.
Yeah.
But what else?
Yeah.
You know, I mean, like, our staff, they know that we have quarterly appraisals, and not just for the sake of it, but we have a quarterly appraisal where we sit down and we just go through the core values.
Yeah.
So we say to people, what did you do around be an expert this quarter? What did you do around be committed? What did you do around be connected?
Yeah.
And they tell us. And if someone said to me, just around be an expert, I've been so busy, I haven't had a chance to do any self-development this quarter.
Yeah.
Then I would just say, like, cool. I mean, it's one of the 3 most important things in the company, and you've got full license from me to, like, literally get up from your desk and go on a course or webinar, read a book, do what you like in work time.
Yeah.
So make sure you do it over the next quarter, otherwise you can't work here.
Yeah.
It's really as simple as that.
Yeah.
And as I say, that will naturally, if someone's not that way inclined, that will naturally make someone go like, sod this.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm going to work somewhere else.
Yeah.
But the ones that stay, you don't have that problem. They're like, I've done this course, I've done this webinar, I've read this book, I've done this around committed. I did this, connected, this, and it's like awesome.
Yeah.
So and we can promote based on that.
Yeah.
It becomes less about did you get to work on time.
Yeah.
It's more about did you do your stuff.
Yeah.
You know, did you learn anything new this month?
Yeah.
Are you connected with the team? Great, you're doing an awesome job.
Yeah.
And
I think those values only work in the way that they do, because from what you've said, the vision is so good, the vision for the next 3 years is so big, that the values help them buy into that vision. So they buy into the vision, they live the values, and therefore that moves you closer to getting it done.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, like, Dan introduced us to the idea of tying your business to a global goal as well.
Yeah.
So we did that. That made a big difference.
Yeah.
So our company now has our vision for our business.
Yeah.
But we have a bigger vision for how we have an impact on the planet.
Yeah.
You know, so for every estate agent that invests in improving their education and their tools by working with us, we give an education to an underprivileged child who otherwise wouldn't have had one.
Yeah.
And what that creates is a situation whereby, you know, last year we can see that we impacted on the lives of like 2,500 kids.
Yeah.
So internally it becomes slightly different. It becomes less about let's try and sell some stuff to estate agents and like, guys, we need to help some more kids.
Yeah.
You know, we've got stuff to do.
Yeah.
And we I don't care that, like, you know, I don't know, it's 5:30.
Yeah.
We're trying to solve these problems in the world. We're trying to modernise the property industry, and by doing it, we're going to help all of these kids.
Yeah.
And I think all of those things, your visions, your values, what you truly believe in, all of that stuff just allows you to create an awesome team that feel like they have a real purpose.
I absolutely loved it. I feel inspired. I don't know about everybody else. It's given me a massive amount of inspiration. It's made me try not to think about my business because I'm so engaged in what you're saying, but I know that on the way home today I'm going to be thinking about my business without a shadow of a doubt.